Hey, what's up guys? Chris back here at TruLite.GasProducts, and today we're talking about some of the gotchas when we talk about building an outdoor kitchen and having one constructed from the ground up. So I have a lot of people who come into our store, and albeit they're always looking for a great value on the grill. They're looking for, hey, what grill should I get? You know, how many burners, how many BTUs? All those questions come into play. But one thing that often gets skipped in the selling process, and I see this across the board, you got guys screaming out the rooftop, they'll give you the lowest price, all that, but they don't give you the gotchas of this built-in grill. So one of the ones that we commonly come across is what they're building the structure, or what we would call the island, for lack of better terms. You can see here, this is an island. It's an outdoor kitchen island. This is a modular one, but when you build it from the ground up, you're gonna use a frame for it. And the frame is typically the skeleton of this island. So you'll have the front part here that's your finishing. Behind the finishing is the skeleton of the actual outdoor kitchen. And so that's got to be made out of a non-combustible material. And here's why. You can use wood all day long, and that's completely fine, but you need to have an insulated liner per the manufacturer and what they're saying to do. If you use something like metal studs though, or cinder block, you don't have to spend the extra money on the actual insulated liner. Why is that important? Your money. Insulated liners cost anywhere between $900 to $1,200 on average. I don't care what kind of deal you're getting, that's adding to the bottom line of your cost. So in order to mitigate that, build out of materials that are non-combustible. You hear this all the time, well, metal studs are more expensive. They are in fact not more expensive. In many cases, the money that you're gonna dole out for that actual insulated liner is more than the actual materials are gonna cost you. So build right, build proper. Demand that your builders build proper, because here's what'll happen. You'll have a guy who will get somebody to build, and you'll have the seller, such as myself, who will say, hey, you know, here's a grill that you can buy, this is a great grill, but they're not telling you anything else. So you go in, you have it built out of wood, you leave it burning for, let's say, 3 or 4 hours one night and forget it. What ends up happening is that non-combustible material, in this particular instance wood, will begin to dry out. So what happens when wood dries out? It becomes more volatile and combustible to flammability. So it's going to be able to burn a lot easier. So in time, what will happen is it'll begin to start to smolder, and then you'll get something that looks like this, and then you've got yourself a fire that engulfs your whole entire patio. Now, here's one excuse I hear. Well, what we'll do is we'll take this board, and you can see it's still here, we'll put hardy backer or cement board there, and that'll make it non-combustible. Didn't seem like it worked much there, guys. The non-combustibility works on heat transfer. So heat will transfer right through this cement board and dry out this wood. That's why it's important to have your non-combustible materials, because the non-combustible materials, they will not smolder, they will not dry out, they're going to be resistant to that type of reaction. So that's important. Who you buy from needs to be telling you these things about the frame out. Another option that you can always do too, if you want to avoid any of that, is just go ahead and go with the Stoll modular or an Endura modular island. These are all made out of non-combustible materials. They're made to order. Many people believe, well, you can't customize them the way that you want. That's false. You can customize these all up and down. You can choose what finish you want, like you see here. These are bunch of finishes. There's multiple, almost double this amount of finishes that you can choose from on the counters and the bases here. So a great alternative if you want to do something like that. But if you're sticking to custom and you want to go from the ground up, use somebody who's going to be reputable and is going to give you the ability to use that non-combustible material, because those are some gotchas that you get into when we talk about building these outdoor kitchens. Another thing you want to make sure is you have proper ventilation throughout the outdoor kitchen. You want to make sure if you're using propane that you've got vents on the backside so that air is clearing that out. You want to make sure that you build weep holes on the bottom side so water can drain and there's no mold buildup. We know here in Houston we get a lot of humidity, so a nice cavity that breathes is really, really important to the outdoor living area. How far the grill is away from a pool. Pool can create a lot of rust and corrosion, especially when we talk about salt water. Many of these grills are 304 stainless, but they're not able to handle salt water within a 5-foot radius. Obviously, you're not going to be storing pool chemicals underneath these grills at all either. So again, how you build is very, very, very important. Some other things you want to think about, small little things I'll go over really quick. air and the way that it travels. Wherever your airflow is coming, whether front or back, this can affect the way that the flame goes front to back. So if I've got a crosswind that always comes on the back side, you might want to get a grill with the wind guard on the back of it, or build a backsplash to block some of that wind so that you're not getting the permeation of heat right up on the front of this panel and causing this to melt down. Because you've got LEDs, and behind these LEDs, you've got the actual pads, and those will melt if heat is pushing forward. So you've got to think about those things whenever you're doing these and you're making these and having them constructed. So how you make things is important, who you hire is important, and who you buy from is important. And that's why here at TruLite Gas, we want to offer you the full rounded service of getting everything you need, from safety to the grill, to the install, to the actual maintenance of the grill, all the way through, guys. Stick with us for more videos like this. If you like this video, like it, subscribe, tell us what you want to see next, guys, and thanks for following us here at TruLite Gas Products. Have a great one and keep grilling.